Welcome to Level Up with Jared. I'm Jared and the flock. Obviously, the flock is not here. They are asleep. It is the nighttime. I just learned that I truly am down to an extra large shirt because I no longer am the fat kid, which is... So let's dive into Level Up with Jared. What is Level Up with Jared? I don't even know what Level Up with Jared is, but this is where I talk about video game things and stuff that is out there. So I want to hit this on the nose here. So I've been a fan of Pokemon for God knows how long, and Pokemon has been a big part of my life, and it's something that I've always loved and enjoyed. And you know, it brings me back when I see this meme. And the meme is where where you encounter a swimmer while you're riding around in one of the seas. It says, "If I'm wearing a bikini, ... where do I put my Pokeballs? Tee-hee, woman's secret." Well, we're about to uncover Victoria's secret here because we're going to do a little bit of investigation here. And cue the introduction. All right, so here's the deal. I've always wondered how Pokeballs work in the mainstream Poke universe. And what I'm kind of sticking to right now is the anime, and I'm also kind of sticking to what we see sometimes in the game. Now, I've got some photos of Misty showing off what a Pokeball looks in her hand. From what I can gather, you know, there's a little graphic here that I found on Quora that says what is a Pokeball. A Pokeball is about the size of an orange, but you know, it says throwing an orange won't catch you any Pokemon. Okay, well here's something that's interesting with me. Is if we take a look at this graphic, it's actually for tumor sizes, but it can be kind of broken down here into what everything looks like. And the biggest 10 centimeters is about a grapefruit, and a peach or an apple is about 7 centimeters. Now, if we take a look at an orange can get fairly large. So if we assume that what a Pokeball's normal size is an orange, the Misty, Ash, Nurse Joy, they're like, it's almost interesting because like Nurse Joy is supposed to be an older adult. I mean, technically she just puts the Pokemon in a little tray and it automatically revives them from the OG games. But I mean, like Nurse Joy is she's got to be old enough to be a medical professional, maybe even 15 in the game. But like, if that's an orange in Missy's hand, she's like 5. Because if we go to the official Pokemon Thano wiki, it says, although the exact dimensions of a Pokeball are not known, it is probably around 4 to 6 centimeters in diameter. The button on the center of a Pokeball can also be pushed to shrink it so it's small enough to attach to a belt. Now, if we look at that size chart of what things are, a walnut is 4 centimeters, which is kind of at the small end, and then an egg is about 6 centimeters. For those of us who are American and idiots, 6 centimeters at the largest is like 2.23 or something ridiculous like that. It's like 2.23 inches. So just for shits and giggles, we'll call it 2.5 inches. Now, I don't know about you, but 2.5 inches is very, very small. I mean, an egg is very, very small. And I mean, I am a 34-year-old grown adult, but an egg in my hand, or even a walnut in my hand, does not match the size of what we're seeing here with Misty and Nurse Joy. This is just not a thing. And it's surprising to me because there are examples of people wearing Pokeballs on their little belts. Now, something that I found interesting while Googling Pokebelts is I thought, are there bikinis with belts in them? The answer is very shortly yes. I mean, here are two very, very great examples. You know, this is a nice green one that's got a very thick belt. And I mean, this is not really a bikini, what she's wearing, but this is a black swimsuit with a belt on it. And, you know, it's interesting because even a little further down the way, there's a dive bikini with a very heavy-duty belt on it. Now, this is interesting because if you look at her left thigh, what's on her left thigh? It's a dive knife. Now, I don't know if you know anything about dive knives, but you can pretty much just go to Amazon and buy a dive knife. Now, one of the dive knives that I found has very interesting dimensions, because if I take a look at the dimensions here, and we go back to the original 2.5 inches per Pokeball, it is 9 inches, 9.1 inches long and 8.6 inches wide. So at that ratio, I mean, even if we look at the dive knife, which is sitting on the calf here, you could easily fit 8 Pokeball on there if it's 2.5 inches wide. I mean, if we're going back to what a walnut size is, that handle of the knife is at least two walnuts thick, or 2 walnuts wide. You could easily fit 2 on top, 2 on the bottom there. And I mean, with how some of the Pokeballs kind of fit on some of these trainers, belts, it's very realistic to realize that they stick magically to something. And, these trainers run around in the forest, trees brush up against them and stuff like that, and they still hold on, because you don't just magically lose Pokeballs, randomly throughout the universe, because otherwise that would be part of the game where you would actually pick up a Pokeball that was dropped. So to me, the graphics are incorrect. And if we go back to the original quote, if I can pick it up here, if I'm wearing a bikini, where do I put my Pokeballs, tee-hee? Woman's secret. Well, just like Victoria's Secret, we figured it out. You have a dive knife attached to you, or you're wearing a bikini with a belt, which is not too uncommon, apparently, after I did a bunch of Googling. So, your secret's out. Niantic is not being a pervert. Even like the Japanese are fairly known well for it. I mean, I'm almost 100% certain that there is a sex theme park that they have, where there are some videos of just giant man meats hanging out there, and lady parts as well too. Like it's like almost a full-fledged sex shop just as a theme park, and it's kind of hilarious. And that there's an H word that is out there that the Japanese are very well known for. So I mean, yeah, we all want to kind of assume that she's putting up there like some beads on a string, or something along those lines, and being really perverted. But in all reality, she's probably got a dive knife on. She's probably got a belt on her bikini. So Niantic, good job trying to pull a quick one on us. You didn't do it so successfully. So just like Victoria's Secret, this secret has been cracked.